Everyone talking about it going to the moon, and maybe you've even been a little bit curious about it yourself. So today we're going to unpack all of that and more.
Yeah, what I find so interesting about Dogelon Mars is that it takes this internet humor and blends it with the real world, like this really ambitious world of space exploration.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've got a bunch of sources to help us out here. YouTube videos with some pretty wild predictions about Dogelon Mars. And then we've got information straight from the Dogelon Mars website, and then even analysis connecting this cryptocurrency to people like Elon Musk and Vitalik Buterin. And, we're going to see if there's actually something to Dogelon Mars or if it's just hype.
We want to help you, the listener, decide if it's even worth your attention or if it's just a cosmic joke.
Okay, so to start things off, can we just take a step back and what exactly IS Dogelon Mars for those who haven't gone down this crypto rabbit hole yet?
So Dogelon Mars, or Elon for short, as they call their token, is basically a meme-inspired cryptocurrency. It launched back in April 2021. And you can almost think of it like Dogecoin's cousin that's obsessed with space travel. It's built on community engagement and people who are just fascinated by Elon Musk and everything he does.
Okay, so we've got the whole meme coin thing going on, but we've also got this really strong space exploration theme happening at the same time. How does that actually play out? What does that mean for this crypto?
Well, the Dogelon Mars project uses a lot of imagery of space travel and Mars colonization, even the possibility of humans living longer, which is something you'd have to figure out if you want to do a long space mission.
That's true, because who wants to travel all the way to Mars and then run out of time to explore, right?
Exactly. So speaking of exploring, we've got to talk about the more technical side of Dogelon Mars. Elon exists mainly as what's called an ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain.
Ethereum. That's
Yeah.
one of the big ones in the crypto world.
Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest. But there's another important detail about Elon that you should know. It's also on the Polygon network.
Okay, Polygon, I've definitely heard of it, but I don't remember exactly what it is. Could you remind me why that's such a big deal?
You can think of Polygon like a superhighway that runs alongside the Ethereum blockchain. It's what's called a layer 2 scaling solution, which basically means that it helps to make transactions faster and cheaper.
Oh, okay. So if someone's thinking about actually using Elon, Polygon might be the better way to go, especially if you're thinking about buying and selling stuff in their metaverse, which I know we'll talk about later.
Totally. If Ethereum is driving in rush hour traffic, Polygon is taking the express lane. And speaking of meme coins, let's back up for a second and just talk about them generally.
Yeah, meme coins are like the shooting stars of the crypto world. They get your attention, but then they can disappear just as quickly.
I love that analogy. It's so true. And for anyone new to crypto, meme coins are very different from stuff like Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're often created because of online trends or inside jokes or, like in the case of Dogelon Mars, a fascination with a specific person or idea.
It's like how Dogecoin started as a joke.
Yeah.
It was based on that Shiba Inu meme, and then all of a sudden it's one of the most recognizable cryptocurrencies out there.
Totally. But here's the big thing about meme coins, and it's super important to remember this. They can be extremely volatile. Unlike those big cryptocurrencies that have real-world applications or complex technology behind them, meme coins depend almost completely on how people are feeling about them and what's trending on social media.
So it's like they're just along for the ride on that internet roller coaster.
Exactly. And that same energy that can send a meme coin's price skyrocketing can also send it crashing down just as quickly. Remember Squidward, that meme coin that was based on the show Squid Game?
Yeah, what happened there?
Its price went crazy. It jumped up something like 230,000% in just a couple of days, but then it just crashed almost overnight, back down to basically zero.
Wow, 230,000% to nothing. That really shows how fast things can change with these meme coins.
It does, and it shows how important it is to understand the risks. I know you're probably thinking about the Elon Musk connection.
Well, you can't talk about Dogelon Mars without mentioning the guy, right? I mean, they practically named the coin after him.
It's true. The name Dogelon is a combination of Dogecoin and Elon Musk, and the space exploration theme totally aligns with Elon Musk and his company SpaceX.
So is Elon Musk secretly running this whole thing behind the scenes?
Here's the thing. Even though the name and the space theme are there, there's actually no proof that Elon Musk is directly involved with Dogelon Mars.
Oh, wow. So it's more like a nod to Elon Musk than an actual endorsement from him?
Yeah.
They're definitely riding the wave of his popularity, though.
Yeah, and that's a powerful wave to ride. And it makes you wonder, does the Musk factor actually even matter in this case? Does having that connection give the project more legitimacy, or is it just really good marketing?
Yeah, that's something to think about. I know that there are some pretty crazy predictions out there about how much this coin's price might go up. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about it, and some people are getting really excited about how well Dogelon Mars might do.
Oh, YouTube predictions are always interesting. So what have you been seeing?
Well, for example, CoinCodex is predicting that Elon could jump over 229% by December 7th of next year.
That's a pretty big jump, but it's really important to keep in mind that these are just predictions. They're based on technical analysis, but it's not like a guarantee. It's kind of like trying to predict the weather a year in advance.
And some of them are even bolder than that. Coin360 says that Elon could reach 0.00000 sci-fi by 2050. I mean, that would be amazing.
That would be huge. But again, it all comes down to the fact that the crypto market is really unpredictable. So these predictions are interesting to consider. But, they're not like a magic crystal ball or anything.
Yeah, we should definitely take those with a grain of salt, or maybe a grain of stardust in this case.
Right. You always have to weigh those predictions against the potential for both wins and losses, especially with meme coins, which can be super volatile. Remember Squeed?
Oh yeah, that's a good reminder. Okay, so let's shift gears for a second and talk about the actual Dogelon character. He's more than just a cute mascot. He's got this whole backstory, and it's like a sci-fi story that they're telling in a comic book series.
I think that storytelling element is one of the things that makes Dogelon Mars stand out. It's not just some random token. There's a whole mythology they're creating.
Yeah, so tell me about this Dogelon character. Who is he, and what's his story all about?
He's supposed to be this adventurer who travels through space and then he ends up stranded on Mars. Because something happens with his spaceship, he gets separated from his partner who is pregnant, and he has to find his way back to her while trying to survive on Mars.
Wait a minute, his pregnant partner is on Mars too. That's some pretty intense drama for a meme coin.
I know, right? It adds this emotional layer that you don't normally see in crypto. And it also uses that cultural fascination with space that a lot of people have, which makes sense with companies like SpaceX pushing the boundaries of what we can do in space.
It's like they took the whole meme coin idea and then threw in some exciting science fiction adventure.
Exactly. And they're using that narrative along with community building to make people interested.
Speaking of community, let's talk about the people involved in Dogelon Mars. From what I've seen, they're very passionate and active about this project.
The Dogelon Mars community is a force to be reckoned with. They're all over social media talking about the project, sharing memes and organizing events. They're super loyal and dedicated to the whole Dogelon Mars mission.
It's interesting how meme coins often start as jokes, but they can actually create these really strong and supportive communities. Why do you think that is? What is it about Dogelon Mars that makes people connect in that way?
I think some of it has to do with the humor. It's lighthearted and people feel like they're in on the joke together. It creates a sense of camaraderie.
But it's more than just a joke, right? It seems like they really believe in space exploration and what it could mean for humanity.
Exactly. And I think having that shared belief makes people feel like they're a part of something bigger than just a cryptocurrency, and that brings them together.
But I've also noticed that they're big on giving back to different causes. We're not talking about just vague promises either. They've made some pretty significant donations to organizations that are involved in space exploration, and they've even organized things called airdrops for people who've been scammed in the crypto world.
I think that's really one of the things that sets the Dogelon Mars community apart. They're not just trying to make money for themselves. They actually want to use this platform to do good things. And that generosity makes people want to be a part of the community. And then when the community grows, they can do even more good things. It's a really positive cycle.
It's great to see that kind of compassion and good intentions in the crypto world, especially since it often gets portrayed as a place that's only about profit and taking advantage of people.
Definitely. It's a good reminder that even with meme coins, where things can feel chaotic and temporary, there are still communities out there that care about being kind to each other and making a positive impact on the world.
It makes you wonder if this could be a sign of something bigger to come. Like, could meme coins actually move beyond just being funny internet trends and actually become forces for good?
That's a question we're going to keep exploring as we dig deeper into this Dogelon Mars ecosystem. In the next part of our deep dive, we're going to look at their plans for the metaverse. We'll analyze their partnerships with other companies, and we'll talk about how they approach security.
Buckle up, listeners, because this journey isn't over yet.
Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into Dogelon Mars. In part one, we were talking about how this whole project got started and its connection to Elon Musk and, of course, the community, all those people who were so passionate about Dogelon Mars. Now I really want to talk about something that's been generating a lot of buzz. Their plans for the metaverse.
Oh yeah, the metaverse, it's like the new Wild West. It seems like every crypto project out there wants to get involved, and Dogelon Mars is no different. They're building this metaverse experience that they're calling Dogelon Land on Mars. It's supposed to launch in Q3 of next year.
Wow, a metaverse on Mars, that sounds super ambitious. Can you give us a little preview? Like, what will it actually be like to explore this virtual world? Okay, imagine this. You step onto the surface of Mars, and you can like feel the red dust under your feet, the thin atmosphere above you. And then you realize that you can shape this entire landscape however you want. That's basically the experience they're going for.
Oh, so it's not just about exploring a world that's already there. You can actually like build and create things within it. That's really
Well,
cool.
exactly. And here's where things get even more interesting. They're using artificial intelligence, or AI, in a big way to make that creative process easier for people.
AI in the metaverse, that definitely has my attention. How does that work?
It's kind of like having an AI assistant by your side while you're building things. So let's say you want to create a futuristic Martian city. Instead of having to learn how to use complicated 3D modeling software, you could just tell the AI what you want. Maybe do a quick sketch of it, and then it would just generate the 3D model for you.
So it's basically like you tell the AI what you want and it just makes it happen. That sounds amazing. So
Mhm.
does that mean that anyone can create things in the metaverse, even if they're not a tech person?
That's the whole idea. They want to make metaverse creation open to everyone, no matter what their technical background is.
Wow, that's a really interesting concept. It makes you wonder what people will come up with when they have those kinds of tools at their fingertips.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. And it's not just about buildings or structures, they're also playing around with AI-driven terraforming, which basically means you could shape the landscape of Mars itself. Imagine being able to create mountains, valleys, rivers, entire ecosystems even, just by using your voice or a few simple
Wait,
commands.
so I could be like, I want a giant volcano right there, and the AI would make it happen.
Well, it might not be that simple in reality,
Yeah.
but you get the idea. They want to make the process as easy and intuitive as possible so that people can build their dream version of Mars.
That's all super innovative. But I'm also thinking about the more practical side of things. Like, what's the role of the Dogelon Mars token in this metaverse?
So Elon is going to be like the currency of the Dogelon Mars metaverse. You'll use
Mhm.
it for everything. Buying virtual land, getting access to NFT marketplaces, participating in governance decisions, you name it.
Okay, so holding Elon tokens could actually give you a real stake in this virtual Martian world. But what about those gas fees? The ones that everyone complains about on the Ethereum network. Wouldn't that make it really expensive and slow to do things in the metaverse?
That's a great question. And this is where Dogelon Mars Layer 2 chain comes in. It's called Rufus.
Rufus, tell me more.
Okay, so Rufus is built on this technology called Arbitrum Nitro, which is basically a way to make transactions on Ethereum faster and cheaper. Imagine this Ethereum is like a busy highway with lots of traffic jams. Arbitrum Nitro and Rufus, by extension, are like building a high-speed rail line next to that highway, so you can skip all the traffic and get where you're going much quicker.
So it sounds like Rufus is like the express lane for the Dogelon Mars metaverse.
Exactly. It makes things run smoother and it's more affordable for users, which is super important because high gas fees can really discourage people from participating, especially in a metaverse where you're likely making a lot of smaller transactions.
That makes sense. So we've got the metaverse itself, we've got the AI that lets you create things, and we've got Rufus, which makes transactions smooth and efficient. It sounds like they're putting together a pretty complete ecosystem.
Hmm.
But I'm also curious about who they're working with. I saw some familiar names on their website, like Arbitrum Boardroom and even Magic Eden. What's the deal with those partnerships?
Those partnerships are a good sign that people in the crypto and metaverse world are taking Dogelon Mars seriously. Arbitrum, like we just talked about, provides the technology behind their Layer 2 solution. Boardroom is a platform for decentralized governance, which aligns with Dogelon Mars' whole idea of being a community-driven project. And Magic Eden is a really popular NFT marketplace, which suggests that they'll be integrating Dogelon Mars NFTs into their ecosystem.
So they're not trying to build this whole thing by themselves. They're collaborating with platforms and technologies that are already established. That definitely adds a lot of credibility to the project.
Yeah, those partnerships bring a lot to the table. Expertise, resources, a wider network.
Now let's talk about something that's always important in the crypto world, security. We mentioned earlier that they've had security evaluations. But is there anything else that makes us feel confident that the Dogelon Mars project is safe?
One of the most important things is that they sent 50% of the initial Elon tokens to Vitalik Buterin. He's the co-founder of Ethereum.
Wait, why would they do that? That seems a little counterintuitive.
It might seem strange, but it's actually a strategy that a lot of meme coins use. It's a way to show that they're committed to fairness and decentralization. It's like saying, look, we're not doing this just to get rich. We want to create a project that benefits everyone.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So what did Vitalik Buterin do with those tokens?
Well, he donated a big chunk of them to the Methuselah Foundation. It's a nonprofit that's dedicated to extending human lifespan and doing research on longevity.
Wow, that's a huge move. I mean,
Yeah.
that connects Dogelon Mars with a really impactful organization. And it also fits perfectly with their whole space exploration theme.
Exactly. If humans are going to be traveling to other planets,
Yeah.
we're going to have to figure out how to live longer, healthier lives.
It's amazing how Dogelon Mars is able to bring all these different ideas together. Memes, space travel, and now longevity research.
It shows that they're paying attention to what's going on in the world, but they also have a bigger vision for the future.
And speaking of what's going on in the world, let's talk about the Dogelon Mars community. We've already talked about how much they give back to different causes, but what else makes them unique?
Honestly, they're one of the most active and engaged communities I've ever seen in the crypto space. They're constantly on social media, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, everywhere, sharing memes, having discussions about the projects, supporting each other. And they're really creative, too. They even create their own apparel line with Dogelon Mars t-shirts, hoodies, all that stuff.
No way their own clothing line. That's serious dedication. I guess when you believe in something this much, you want to wear it on your sleeve, literally.
It shows how powerful the sense of community is around Dogelon Mars and how much people feel like they belong.
I've also noticed that they're really active in helping people who have been victims of scams in the crypto world. They've done these things called airdrops, specifically for people who have lost money to scams.
That's one of the things I really respect about the Dogelon Mars community. They're genuinely trying to make the crypto space a better place, especially for people who are new to it or who have been taken advantage of.
It's good to know that even in a place like the crypto world, where things can feel a little bit like the Wild West, there are communities that care about doing the right thing and being kind to each other.
Definitely, we need to see more of that.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Where do you think meme coins fit into the future of crypto?
That's the million-dollar question, and there's no easy answer. Remember, meme coins are based on speculation, and they can be really risky. There's no way to know for sure if Dogelon Mars will be successful, or if the price will go up, like some people are predicting.
But there's always the chance that it could really take off right, especially if they follow through on their plans for the metaverse and keep building that strong community.
For sure, you have to weigh the risk against the potential reward. So before anyone makes any investment decisions, they need to do their research, understand how much risk they're comfortable with, and remember that the crypto market is constantly changing.
And speaking of research, we have all these YouTube videos to go through. They have a lot of different opinions about what the future holds for Dogelon Mars. Some of them are super optimistic and predicting huge price increases. Others are more cautious and talking about the risks and uncertainties. In the last part of our deep dive, we're going to break down those YouTube predictions, and we'll look at what could potentially drive growth for Dogelon Mars. We'll also see what happened with other meme coins in the past to see if we can learn anything from them.
Yeah, so stick with us, listeners. We're going to dive into the world of crypto predictions and try to make sense of all the excitement surrounding Dogelon Mars.
All right, so welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent a lot of time talking about Dogelon Mars. You know where it came from, the technology behind it, the people who are so passionate about it, and of course, those metaverse streams they have. But now in this last part, I really want to dig into some of the bigger questions that Dogelon Mars makes you think about. Like what does this project say about meme coins and ethics and like the future of crypto in general?
It's getting philosophical now.
Right. And I think one of the most interesting things about Dogelon Mars is that connection it has to the Methuselah Foundation. That group that's all about making humans live longer. I mean, that's not something you normally see with a meme coin, is it?
It's a weird combination, right?
Okay.
You've got meme culture, which people think of as kind of silly and temporary. And then you've got longevity research, which is dealing with some of the biggest questions about what it means to be human.
It's almost like Dogelon Mars is trying to find a way to connect internet humor with the idea of living forever. But how do we even make sense of that? Is it just a clever marketing tactic, or is there something more meaningful going on?
I think it shows that people in the crypto community are looking for projects that have a real purpose. A mission that's about more than just making a quick buck.
So it's not just about the hype anymore. People want something with more substance, something that connects to a bigger vision.
Exactly. And Dogelon Mars is tapping into that by aligning themselves with the Methuselah Foundation. It's like they're saying, hey, we're not just about memes and making money. We're also interested in pushing the limits of what humans can do.
And it really fits in with their whole space exploration theme, too. I mean, if we're going to colonize Mars or travel to other galaxies, we're going to have to figure out how to live a lot longer, right?
It's crazy to think about, right? That a meme coin could actually lead to breakthroughs in longevity research. And that could someday make interstellar travel possible.
The crypto world is definitely full of surprises. But this also makes you think about the ethics of meme coins. There's been a lot of debate about that in the crypto community.
Yeah, definitely. And those concerns are valid. You have to remember that meme coins are highly speculative by nature. They depend on hype and what's trending, which can make the price go up and down really fast. And that creates opportunities for people to manipulate the market and take advantage of others.
We've seen it happen before, where people see a meme coin going up and they invest without really understanding it. And then when the price crashes, they lose a lot of money. That's the dark side of all this, and it's something we have to be careful about.
Absolutely. We have to be responsible and teach people about the risks involved. People need to do their research before investing in any project, especially those that are driven by hype and trends.
So how do we make the meme coin world more ethical and sustainable? What can projects like Dogelon Mars do to protect their investors and make sure they're acting responsibly?
I think the most important thing is transparency. Projects need to be upfront about the risks and not make promises they can't keep. They have to communicate clearly about what they're trying to achieve.
So it's about trust and accountability.
Yeah,
And I've seen that Dogelon Mars has been pretty open about their plans, their partnerships, and even their security audits.
that's a good sign. Being open and honest is essential if you want to build a project that will last.
And education is important too. We need to help people understand how crypto works and how to invest safely.
Definitely things like market volatility, risk management, and doing your due diligence. Those are all crucial for anyone who's getting into crypto, especially meme coins.
And we can't forget the power of community. We've seen how the Dogelon Mars community has come together to help people who've been scammed and to promote responsible investing.
It's encouraging to see communities taking the initiative to make the crypto world a safer and more supportive place.
So let's step back and look at the bigger picture again. Where do meme coins fit in with the future of crypto?
That's a big question, and there are a lot of different opinions. Some people think meme coins are just a fad that will disappear eventually.
And others think they represent a real shift in how we think about money and finance, like a way for everyday people to take control.
I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Meme coins have definitely shaken things up in the financial world. They've brought in new ideas, attracted new people, and started important conversations about what money really is.
But they still have challenges to overcome. They need to find ways to deal with the volatility and the regulations, and they need to evolve and offer more than just memes to have real value.
The key is going to be finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, between tapping into the power of community and making sure everyone is playing by the rules.
So the story of meme coins, and Dogelon Mars specifically, is still being written. And it's a story that's being shaped by developers, investors, regulators, and most importantly, the communities that have made them so popular.
And that brings us back to our big question. Is Dogelon Mars just another flash in the pan, or will it become something more? Something that helps us explore space, live longer, or even just change the way we think about crypto? Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure, Dogelon Mars has gotten people thinking and talking. And it's reminded us that the world of crypto is full of surprises and possibilities, and that it has the power to change things in a big way.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Dogelon Mars, here's our final thought. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking questions. The crypto world is huge, and it's always changing. And it's up to all of us to decide what the future of crypto will look like.
This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.